Okay. Okay. Give me a second. Can you hear me okay? Sir?
Yes.
All right. Your name's David? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Timothy Willard. Corporal Timothy Willard. From the Marine Corps Reserve. Once a Marine, always a Marine. It's my duty. Just let me finish. Thank you. No shit. Are you a Marine? Are you a Marine, brother? Are you my brother?
Yes.
Oh, fucking awesome. Semper Fi, Marine. God damn, where'd you serve? Well, what was your MOS? What was your MOS?
What's that?
Huh?
I'm having a hard time to hear you.
What was your MOS? Your job?
Oh, I was an MP.
Ah, cool. I was a 0311 grunt. Non-commissioned officer. Corporal. And I'm the only person in my unit that ever got a letter of appreciation from the commanding officer in the entire 6 years I served. You still there? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm here. Anyway, David, I want to tell you the whole story so you'll understand from the beginning what's happened, what's transpired here. Is that all right?
Okay.
It's going to take a couple minutes. When I lived up here for 17 years on the side of this hill, and I've had past difficulties with Robin on the bus. Not on the bus, in life. In fact, I have a scar on my forehead where he smashed me in the head with a piece of firewood, and then I had to beat him unconscious on the ground. His head, I choked. You're a Marine, you know what I did. I grabbed him by the throat, I clamped off his airway, I slammed him on the ground, I dropped my knees on his shoulders, I grabbed him by the ears and the hair, and I beat him unconscious on the ground. So he wouldn't hit me with another piece of firewood. Anyway, so the first time I get on the bus, my car's not working, okay? I'm a 100% disabled Marine. I got 29 pieces of metal in my neck. I got a bad knee that needs to be operated on, but I can't have it operated on because COVID-19. So I limp around, especially in the cold. And it gives out sometimes and I fall down. So if you guys were to put me off the bus anywhere but right in front of my house, you'd be endangering my life because I might not be able to make it back home safely, first of all. Secondly, I have every right to be able to ride your bus without listening to somebody spout treason on it. Now the first time I got on the bus, I saw this guy get on the bus, this Robin guy. As he was coming in the door, I looked at him and I had this glimmer of recognition because I've been gone for 3 years. I went to New Hampshire to try to help a friend save his house. He had cancer. He got behind 4 months on his house stuff, and so I talked my girlfriend into going down there, renting a room, buying home heat and fuel and food, and trying to cheer my friends up and trying to save their house and their business. And we did it. We lived with them for 14 months, and we did it. And then we lived in an apartment for a few years. I was down there like 3 years. Before that, I lived on the side of this hill in Weston for 17 years. Right? I homesteaded the place with a chainsaw and a camper. Right? And it's gorgeous down here. You're perfectly welcome to stop by and have coffee with me someday, brother. As long as it's safe as far as the COVID crap's concerned. If you're a Marine, you're welcome at my house. I'd love to meet you, actually. But anyway, so the first time I get on, I look at the guy as he's coming in the door. I say, "Do I know you?" Just like that. Same tone of voice, same exact words. Quote, quote, quote. Then he came down the aisle and he was putting his stuff in the seat in front of me. He was standing beside the seat. He turned his head and looked at me, and I recognized him, and I said, "Oh, I know you." And he flipped. He stuck his finger in my face, like 1 inch from my face, and started screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs how he was going to get another restraining order against me. Because he got one in the past. He dragged me into court because he was such a pussy. And he dragged me into court, and he told the judge I beat him up and he wanted a restraining order. And the judge says, Mr. Willard, what's your story? And I said, well, I live in a town of 200 people where your word is your bond. And I'm an honest man and I have a good reputation. But these people started a rumor I was a thief, Your Honor. And I'm not going to call the state police 100 miles out of Bangor for that. So I went to the guy's house to chew him out. This guy interrupted me, wouldn't shut up. We ended up in a physical altercation, and I ended up having to beat him unconscious after he hit me with a piece of wood in the head. And I said, so I started a new rumor, Your Honor. I started a whole new rumor. It wasn't Tim Willard's a thief. It's if you call Tim Willard a thief, he'll kick the living shit out of you. That was the new rumor I started, Your Honor. And then the court, and the fucking judge took his gavel and bang! You got your restraining order. And I walked out of the courtroom laughing. I didn't want to be around the asshole anyway. But anyway, so he gets on the bus, and I said those two phrases, quote unquote, friendly, no problem, to him. He flips out. He gets in my face. He's screaming and yelling. He's threatening to get another restraining order. I don't know what the hell for. I have no idea what for, okay? He's threatening to get another restraining order. He's going berserk. I didn't flip out. I didn't knock him down. I didn't kill him. When he got off the bus that day, he touched me. And in this COVID-19 time, that is attempted negligent homicide as far as I'm concerned, sir. And I complained to the bus driver, what's her name there, the woman bus driver on Wednesdays down here. I said to her, the minute he got off the bus, I said, you know, I don't want him doing that to me again. I need you to tell him, don't be pulling that crap again on me. And everybody else on the bus, there was like 6 other people on the bus, all said to a person, yeah, he's always had an attitude, he's always been trouble. Even the bus driver said so. But she refused to either speak to him and tell him, curb your tongue, young lad, or she refused to kick him off the bus. Instead, she used coercion against me by threatening to have me removed as well when I had done nothing wrong and committed no wrongful act whatsoever. You could ask every other passenger on that bus. I treat them all with extreme friendliness, kindness, and politeness. Every one of them will tell you that. I guarantee it. Okay? He's the problem on the bus, not me. And I'm not going to be taken off the bus by the state police or threatened to be taken off the bus by the state police because I tell a man, you're wrong, when he characterizes the uprising, the attempt to overthrow our government by force, which killed 5 people the other day. He said it was a protest. He said that on the bus. If the bus has 1 penny of federal money financing it, or your job, your salary, or any of your people's salaries, then you're on the hook to follow the law, I believe. And the law says, let me read it to you. I've read it to your manager, Bob, at least twice now, but he refuses to apologize and tell me that they're going to keep this asshole off the bus because they refuse to control him. And by the way, your code of conduct on your website says passengers are expected to adhere to commonly accepted rules of conduct. Please be courteous with your driver and other passengers. I have been. A driver may refuse to transport a passenger who appears to be under the influence of alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. I don't take illegal drugs or dangerous substances, that neither, or whose behavior or language is abusive. My behavior and language does become abusive when people commit treason on the bus. Yes, it does, and I think that's my right, my First Amendment right, to speak. And nobody who's receiving 1 penny of federal money can tell me different. It's against the law, according to my First Amendment rights. And if I make a complaint to the bus driver, and she ignores me, and she lets this asshole keep getting on the bus, keep causing trouble, like everybody else says he's been doing all along, then the next time he commits treason in front of me, sir, I'm going to choke him out so he won't say any more. Because when you say it was a protest, then you're... let me read the law to you. Here, let me find the law. It's really simple. I've read it to your manager. Perhaps you need to review it with him. Let me find it for a moment, please. It's a federal law. It's very, very, very concise. And let's see. It's in my back pocket. I'm really disorganized lately. I am 100% disabled. I suffer from constant pain. I have 29 pieces of metal in my neck because I worked in a granite quarry doing real work when I was younger, and I blew out my neck. And I've had 3 operations, 2 of them in the last 5 years, and I'm extremely disabled. That's why I need to take the bus to get my medicine and see my doctors and all that good stuff, sir. So if you're going to kick me off the bus because you're going to support someone else's right to commit treason, which they don't have, then we're going to have a really big problem. And I'm going to end up suing you in order to buy me a new car if you kick me off the bus, because I'm going to need that transportation replaced. And if you kick me off the bus illegally for performing my duty as a Marine, then I'm going to have legal cause to recover damages. You understand what I'm saying yet? And I'm going to find that law and read it to you, by the way. I'm just disorganized because lately I've been going fucking crazy because somebody tried to overthrow my government, and I'm a Marine, and all my goddamn brainwashing kicked in, and it's been making me want to fucking kill people over it. And all I'm trying to do is control myself and not get in trouble. All right? Now let me find that damn law so I can read it to you, please. I'm having a little trouble finding it because I'm disorganized and I'm trying to stay calm. I really am. But it's hard to stay calm these days, if you know what I mean. Anyway, where the hell did I put it? Darn it. Oh, man. I know I got it here right now. Oh, there it is. Wait. I think I got it. Yeah. There it is. Okay. I need you to write this down, sir, and look it up and read it, okay? I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to tell you the code. I'm going to read it to you. But I need you to check this out. It's U.S. Code -2011 Title 18 Part 1 Chapter 1 SEC 4 Section 4. All right? And it reads in part precisely as follows. Whoever, knowing that an offense against the United States has been committed, receives, relieves, comforts, or assists the offender in order to hinder or prevent his apprehension, trial, or punishment is an accessory after the fact. Right now, your bus driver is an accessory after the fact to the murder that happened at the Capitol building, because she is giving Donald Trump comfort by letting one of his dumbass followers speak treason on that bus and then telling a Marine, you may not use your First Amendment rights to correct him. Are you following me so far, sir? Hello?
I'm still listening.
All right. So do you understand that law I just read to you? Did you write down the code so you can look it up and study it? U.S. Code.
I'm listening to you.
U.S. Code 2011, Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 1, Section 4. 2 of your employees are breaking this law right now. Bob, the manager, who refuses to apologize to me and set this entire mess straight. By the way, you had a male bus driver on the route one time, and I told him what was happening, and he told me, don't worry. If he runs his lip 1 second, I'll kick him right off the bus. And what that shows me is there's a real serious management policy enforcement discrepancy here somewhere. Because you got one bus driver saying one thing and another bus driver saying another thing. And that doesn't make any sense to me at all, management-wise. And I used to be a manager, imagine it. And by the way, when I worked at the 4th largest law firm in Boston, they really loved my tenacity and my attention to detail. So I'm going to ask you, sir, as a brother Marine, could you please apologize to me because your bus driver threatened me with removal from the bus, and all I did was tell a man, I didn't threaten him or anything. All I said was, you're wrong, it wasn't a protest. Look at the Constitution. That's all I said. I'll be damned if I'm going to be removed from the bus for that. Or barred from the bus for that. If you bar me from the bus, I'm going to sue you for a car. Actually, it's not going to be a car. If you bar me from the bus, I'm going to sue you to replace what you're stealing from me illegally. And I'm going to need a brand spanking new 3/4 ton truck with a plow on it, because I'm going to be able to need to get it up in my yard. And I have a very steep driveway. So that'll be the lawsuit. And it'll all be based on everything I just told you. So are you going to kick him off the bus, or are you going to kick me off the bus? What do you want to do? Huh? And are you going to straighten your manager, Bob, out and have him apologize to me? And are you going to have the bus driver apologize to me because she allowed this whole thing to develop when she didn't react to my perfectly legitimate complaint in the first place? She developed the situation, not me. In fact, the second week I got on the bus, and when Robin got on the bus, I said, "Hey, Robin, you know what? I actually swallowed my pride for 1 second, and that's hard for a Marine to do, okay? I swallowed my pride for 1 second, and I said, "Hey, Robin, you know, we don't have to fight about the past, for Christ's sakes. It's forever and ever ago. Let's let bygones be bygones and be friends." And I solved the whole damn thing right there. And your bus driver should have been the one that did it, not me. I shouldn't have had to swallow any pride at all. All right? But I did, in order so the other passengers wouldn't have to fucking listen to it. But when he said it was a protest at the Capitol, I'm sorry, but I had to use my First Amendment rights in order to correct him. And if that's a problem for you guys, we can go to court about it. No problem at all. And I'll be asking for more than a goddamn truck, because you're almost driving me out of my fucking mind with this bullshit. And it's a very big inconvenience. Am I understood, Marine? Am I getting through to you? Because someone needs to listen and react properly and legally here, and it should be you. I don't want to end up having to go after you, because you're a brother Marine, and you should do the right thing right now. You should say, "Listen, Marine, I'm sorry those assholes treated you that way, and I'm going to set them straight, and they're going to apologize to you. And then I won't be calling the Department of Justice and turning all three of you in Washington for breaking this specific law." What do you think? What do you want to do? I want to be friends. I want to ride the bus. I want that asshole off the bus, because I don't want to have to kill him. If he gets on the bus and he starts talking treason and the bus driver won't tell him to shut up, I'm going to fucking flip out. My brainwashing is going to take over, and I might kill the motherfucker. So keep him off the bus, please. All right? Hello? Hello? And by the way, sir, Marine, as is my right, I am recording this entire call for evidence. And I'm putting you on notice. I will be using my First Amendment rights anytime I want on the bus. I will be riding the bus, as is my right, because I have broken no law, and I'm not the one that got out of hand. And everybody on the bus will tell you that, and if you don't believe me, be on the bus down here this week when they pick me up at the bottom of the driveway, and we'll all talk about it together, and I'll make damn sure the state police are there at the same damn time so they can correct the bus driver about using coercion to fuck with a paying passenger. What do you want to do? I'm serious. I want to get off the phone. I'm tired of talking. What do you want to do? You want to go to court, or you want to apologize and set your people straight and tell them don't break the law? What do you want to do, Marine?
Well, you have to give me a chance to speak back.
Okay, go ahead. You let me talk really good. Hey, listen. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Thank you. You let me get that all out. You didn't upset me, and I didn't end up screaming and yelling. So now we're talking instead of me having a panic attack. By the way, I have, because I'm in constant pain from the 29 pieces of metal in my neck, I have chronic major depression, anxiety attacks, and panic attacks. And that's all I've been exhibiting, is a medical condition which you guys have been irritating. I'm handicapped mentally and physically, sir. Legally. I'm being paid by Social Security for my mental and physical disabilities, and I expect to be treated like a disabled person on your bus. And I expect my legal rights to be followed. And I will accept nothing less. So there it is. Go ahead and talk. That's my whole argument. What do you got to say? Hello?
I appreciate you calling me.
Okay. I figured
Appreciate you letting me know where you're at.
I figured I'd get a hold of you before I called the Department of Justice in Washington on your employees. I figured I'd give you guys one last chance to straighten out and stop trying to be petty tyrants on your bus. This is no longer a totalitarian state. It was from the day they let Donald Trump off of the second article of impeachment, ignoring the Constitution completely. And by the way, that same law I just read to you means that every single Republican senator that let Donald Trump off during a trial in the Senate with no documentation and no witnesses, in spite of the fact that the House had issued legal summonses for both witnesses and documents, and the president just made up a law, just made one up. He said, no, I can tell my people not to respond to that. Just made it up right out of thin air. Therefore, that day America died. And we weren't reborn until just the other day when Joe Biden was sworn into office. That's when America came back to life, in my opinion. Before that, it was a fascist dictatorship in total anarchy. They were sending federal agents into cities with no identifying markers on them, no identifying markers on their vehicles, and they were dragging people off in the middle of the night. Now, that's what you call fascist dictatorship, not America. Because all that's illegal. See what I'm saying? Kidnapping children on the border is illegal. Selling those children to orphanages after sending their parents home for 6 months and then declaring that the parents abandoned the child and then giving the child up for adoption and shipping them cross country. Do you know what you call that, Marine? That's called human trafficking, and it's illegal, and it's a crime against humanity. Do you know what you call it when you pull the troops out of northern Syria on a phone call with a fucking dictator? And you never ask your military people for advice about it, and you never think twice about it. You just have a phone call with a fucking crackpot dictator of Turkey, and then you pull your troops out. And then the Kurds, and then Turkey moves right in and slaughters the Kurds as your soldiers are crying. You know what they call that? They call that a war crime. They call that premeditated genocide. And when the president didn't react, he told the Israelis way back in like November or something that they had to be worried about this thing coming out of China. And they did nothing to get ready. Nothing. And then when the states said, we need some of that stuff you've got stashed, he said, no, that's ours. Well, it's not. It wasn't his. It's ours. We pay for it. We're the taxpayers. It's not the rich people's. It's not the rich people's shit. They don't even pay taxes, so it's not theirs, so it's ours. Ours. Not Donald Trump's, not the Republican parties, not the federal government. It's fucking ours. So he murdered a whole 400,000 people are dead now because Donald Trump killed them on purpose. And that's a fact, Marine. And that's treason. So, according to the law I already read you, I will be insisting, after I have a special email address now to contact Angus King's office with all of my problems. I'll include this one if you want. I have a special email address of the girl that answers the phone in his office so I can put detailed stuff on page. Hey, you want to hear something funny? I actually, remember back when they sent those people to the embassy, the Marines to the embassy to get it under control several months ago? Do you remember that? Huh?
Yeah.
Well, that night I was watching the TV and watching Twitter really close. And they announced 4 hours before arriving that they were coming. So I wrote a letter to the Commandant of the Marine Corps after arguing with his office personnel for a week, saying, hey, I was in the Marine Corps Reserves for 6 years, and the one thing they really drove home was, you never give up the element of surprise, you stupid motherfuckers. And you never ever give up the elements of surprise, and you never put a fucking video saying we're bringing them in Ospreys, and you can shoot those down easy with a law rocket, or what are those Russian ones? The fucking RPGs in their final landing stages. Look out! Here we come! Shoot us down! I was so fucking mad, I was livid. I finally turned it over to my senator, Jean Shaheen, and she didn't do anything about it. Now, all these people are dead because they didn't arrest the cocksucker then. 400,000 people are dead because Jean Shaheen fucked up. Not only that, but during the impeachment thing, there were 18 more articles of impeachment just sitting, waiting, ready to go. And they ignored them, and they let him off the hook. So the Democrats are just as bad as the Republicans, and I hate all of the motherfuckers. I'm an independent. So don't ever label me as a fucking lefty. I'm a Marine. Watching out for the Constitution, because that's my duty till the day I die, sir. And I'm going to do it on your bus. Okay? Can we agree on that, please? Because I don't want to get your ass in trouble. You're a Marine. And you can understand every word I'm saying to you. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you're still an American and you're still a Marine. All that other shit is bullshit. For months, I've been telling people, I want you, your family, your friends, everybody you know and everybody you don't know to stay safe and happy. And then I've been telling them, I also want you to join me in a movement that I started down in New York when I bought a sailboat down there, and I got stuck down there for like 2 months because it was a junked sailboat. And I was in, what do you call it? Oyster Bay, New York, right in the middle of the rich people's heaven on earth. It's actually just a mud puddle. Maine's way better. Anyway, so I'm down there with all these rich fuckers, hanging out on my 30-foot yacht, because I got a bunch of money from my long dead dad, and I bought a sailboat with it on eBay, and I got screwed. And so I took a 3-month vacation down on Long Island in a sailboat, and then the cops down there were pressuring me to get out of there. The sailboat motor wouldn't run, so the generator wouldn't work, right? So my electronics wouldn't work. My communications wouldn't work. Ship-to-shore radio wouldn't work. Nothing would work. My depth finder wouldn't work, all right? But they chased me out of the rich man's world and back into another rich man's world where I was stuck for another month. And then they started threatening to impound my boat, and I figured they were going to steal it. So I said, fuck this. And I had a guy drag me out into the wind, and I sailed across Long Island Sound in a hell of a windstorm by myself with 3 puppies. And and I came into Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I'm coming into the harbor, and just as I'm coming into the harbor, I'm starting to roll in the roller furling jib, you know? And the damn pulley on the back of the boat broke right off, ripped right out of the screws, the wood, everything, just tore right out and flew. So I lost my control of my Genoa jib, and I had to carefully sail it into the harbor, way back deep in the harbor with no motor, and just the mainsail flopped wide open. And I tied up to a post in there. I yelled at people to get me to send the harbor patrol over to check on me, you know, but nobody did it. I yelled at them. I couldn't leave the wheel. I didn't have a motor. All they had was one sail, and I'm the only guy on the boat, so I couldn't leave the wheel. So I'm yelling at people, get me the harbor master. I need to talk to the harbor master. Right? None of them did it. So I get way deep in there, and I got no communications. And so I tie off to this pier post right by this factory-like thing, deep in the harbor, almost going up the river. And I couldn't tell the depth of the water, and it was dark black, you know. So I tie up, and in the morning I woke up, and the damn boat had settled come down on a bunch of black rocks that I couldn't see the night before, tipped over sideways and taken on water and basically sank. And I had to rescue my 3 puppies and myself and all my important shit. And I lost thousands of dollars worth of crap. But anyway, yeah, I had fun down there. You know what? In the last 6 months, I've chewed out big time at least 20 cops because they were acting uppity. And I have dressed them fucking down big time. I did 2 of them right down there in the harbor down there because these 2 punk kids claimed I threatened them. I got on the launch and they weren't following the rules. They weren't wearing masks on these small launches, the rich people. So one day, a bunch of them jumped on the fucking launch with no masks, and I said, "Excuse me," and I spoke to them in the authoritative tone of voice of a non-commissioned officer in the Marine Corps, and I said, "Excuse me, people, but if you're not going to wear a mask, could you please not get on this boat?" Next thing I know, they're sending cops out with 2 kids claiming I threatened them, right? So the cops come out and they try to bully me. These 2 big, fat New York, fucking young, fucking New York water cops in a boat. And they come out to my yacht and they're trying to bully me, right? "Did you threaten me? These kids said you threatened them." Now, the kids are sitting there and they're staring at the floor because they know they're lying and they don't dare look up, right? And so I said to the cop something about like this. I said, "No, fuck no, I didn't threaten them. That's bullshit. I told them I wanted the fucking people to wear masks. That's all I said." And then I said, and I talked to them in the authoritative tone of voice of a non-commissioned officer, and if they don't like it, they can fuck off, and if you don't like it, you can fuck off too, officer. And they ate it because they knew I was right about my First Amendment rights. I told them as long as I haven't explicitly threatened anyone, I haven't broken the law. See what I mean? Hello? Shit, he's gone. I think I lost him. Huh. What do you think, Marine?